Welcome back, COP members, to Module 2 Plan, Defining a Solution and Research Question. In this third video, we will finalize our research question. Now that you have identified the research settings and context and selected an appropriate solution, we will finalize your research question for the Action Research Project. So we are doing step number 5, developing a specific research question. For example, you started with the question in step 3 of module 1, the general question. For example, how can I help students understand reading passages above their level? Then added the solution you chose earlier in this module. For example, use scaffolded questions. Now, the result should be an open-ended question. For example, your specific research question: how will using scaffolded questions help students understand reading passages above their level? Your specific research question includes both your general question and your solution. Ann Burns has compiled a list of questions in her book to help action researchers refine their questions. The ones you see on the slide are adapted from her list. Let's talk about each of these questions with some examples in the next series of slides. Additionally, on page 32 to 33 in Ann Burns's books, you can see more sample questions and comments. So now, looking at each of the 7 questions, I will give you 2 examples and you will select what you think is best. For example, number 1, does the question have the right scope? Scope means size. Ask yourself if the research is the right size for you in your ability and your time. Trying to change all aspects of your teaching is too big. Trying to apply the research to every one of your classes is too much. This brings us back to the focus discussion we had at the beginning of the module. You can't focus on everything at once. Here are 2 research questions. Which one has a good scope? Which one needs improvement in terms of the scope? What do you think? Option B, does providing 2 to 3 options in pair work activities improve motivation in my class? We've circled question B to show that it has a more appropriate scope. What do you think is wrong with question A? Notice this is a specific question regarding scope. It is not an open-ended question. Example number 2. Is the question closed or open-ended? How can peer feedback improve student writing levels? Or answer B, can peer feedback improve student writing levels? Answer A is the better question regarding open or close-ended questions. You want to have an appropriate scope and an open-ended question when writing your specific research question. Number 3, is the question biased? Which one is better? Answer A presumes that electric dictionaries will lead to higher scores. So answer A is biased and answer B is a better question. Does the question allow for a logical connection between the action and the outcome? And be sure the research question will lead to action. A question that studies participation in group activities according to gender is a fascinating topic, but is lacking a focus on improving one's teaching through action. Answer A is the better choice. Self-study program doesn't necessarily improve students' speaking skills. It may improve other aspects, but not speaking. Number 5, is the goal objective and measurable? Answer B is correct. If I use cooperative learning activities with group work 4 to 5 times a week, how will students' oral skills improve? That question is both objective and measurable. We can measure the improvement and progress in the classroom. Number 6, does the question relate to current research? Answer B connects to current research. When you write your specific research question and have a solution, your solution must connect to current research. And lastly, number 7, is the question stated clearly and concisely? Answer B. To what extent will the implementation of unique individual roles such as reporter, discussion facilitator, question asker, and researcher have a positive or negative effect on individual students' activity and talking time in daily and weekly group tasks and/or activities? This question is clear and concise because I am able to answer the 7 questions that we just reviewed. The best way to find out if your question is appropriate is to ask others what they think about your question. So you will first assess your question with the checklist. I will review the checklist on the next page again. So, for video number 3 in Module 2, you will first write your specific research question. Look at your general question and your selected solution. Combine the two to develop your specific research question. You will self-assess using the research question checklist that we just reviewed. You will then post your specific research question on the Blackboard discussion page. Respond to COP members and give feedback about their specific research question, and provide feedback to research questions. Finally, once you have given feedback and responded to the feedback, you will need to complete a Google form to send to the COP members on your final specific research question. Again, here's your specific research question checklist. These are the 7 questions that we just reviewed from Ann Burns's book on page 32 and 33. Ask yourself, does your specific research question have the right scope, is open-ended, is fair and not biased, has a connection between the action and the outcome, is objective, relates to current research, and is stated clearly and concisely? Once you are able to check all 7 boxes from your specific research question, then you can post onto Blackboard, receive feedback, and then complete the Google form. The due dates for video 3 in Module 2 are Friday, January 20th. Again, share and obtain feedback on your completed research question, and then complete the Google form